Theories and Thoughts podcast. Did you miss us? Was it like two weeks, Fancy?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. How y'all doing?
What y'all got going on? What's popping? What's popping? Well, Fancy and I did want to address the reason why we've been gone for a little while. I have left the magazine. I am no longer the managing editor. I left so I can continue building my brand. So, as you guys know, I put on my shirt today. If I could get up, I have a business. It's called Lady CEO. What Lady CEO does, I have media, fashion, and brand consulting and management. I think those things kind of speak for themselves. So, although we're not working hand in hand as we used to, Fancy and I still have a rapport, of course, because we're here. And we will continue on with the podcast. So, we just had to let the ground settle and work things out, and now we're here. So, we wanted to get that out the way first. You had anything?
Nope. Well, I mean, just stating. One thing I think maybe it might be important to say is that I really thought the podcast was bigger than whatever our disagreements were, and I really did not want to just walk away from that because it's something that we've been building. I know that it's something we were both really passionate about, so I'm just glad that we could put our differences aside to be able and just and then also of course I wish you all the best in your ventures, and I'm certain that you're going to do well because we work together. So yeah.
And the same here, no hard feelings. And one of the things that we built the podcast on was the ideal that Fancy and I don't share the same views on a lot of things, but some things we do. And with that, we, yes, I was going to say there was some differences, but we can work through it. And then being adults and being business women, let that be a lesson to other people. When it's business, it's not personal. This is business right here. So going forward, that's how it is. So that's done. Did you catch the Teddy and Babyface battle?
Yes, I actually did. I was like, I guess I really enjoyed it. But I wasn't like a lot of people. That's just some people was getting dressed up. I know when they first malfunctioned on Saturday night, like one of my journalist friends, I haven't followed her post, and she had been so excited. She was like, I'm gonna go sit in the living room on the sofa. She was like, I got my red dress together that I'm gonna sit down and watch, with. And then when I actually went to sleep on Saturday night. So when I woke up a few hours later and I saw all of the posts, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, let me go check on her, because she was so amped. I was just, but she was like, I don't even care that they didn't even do it. This was the most amazing thing ever. Like, and then so when Tuesday happened, she was double blessed. Like, she was just really excited. Her excitement really, I think I kind of fed off of that, because I don't know. But the music, of course, I love the music, and I was still trying to see, like, did they actually declare a winner? Teddy was hilarious. I think Saturday night was kind of like the perfect example of not knowing what the hell the agenda is. Like going to a speaking event and then being like, oh, this the format. Well, you should have looked to see what the format was going to be like ahead of time. And yeah, so those are some of my thoughts. But what did you think?
I loved it. I was actually in here. I was trying to post on my page real quick. I was in here painting at the time when it started last night, and then I was like, okay. I got up, danced, I sung. It was like many people were saying, I can't say the word. I cannot say the word. It's not coming to me. Nostalgic. That's it.
Yeah.
And it was remembering where you were when when you first heard those songs, how you felt. I always tell people, we were singing songs thinking we knew something. Like we knew something about love.
Right. Yeah.
And now you sit back and you be like, what I do? I nothing, and you were so in love and so
Girl, I
heartbroken.
was like 4 for some of them. Like I was like age 4 on some of those songs, you know. I kind of like the songs they was going with. Well, that Babyface was trying to go with more so on Saturday. Then like 2 occasions just kind of took me out. But I know I was like 2 or 3. I didn't check the years, but like I wasn't at old. So in some ways, when Teddy Riley started, you know, with some of his stuff, I was a little bit older. In some ways, you know, like I knew some of that, I was more familiar with it. But I'm still tripping off, like when he said that he had been in high school or something when with one of those beats. And I was just like, I love the fact that they gave a backstory. That's what made it more interesting. I really wanted them to cut those songs down in 30 seconds, though. We didn't need the full song. And as somebody pointed out, Babyface actually edited his songs, whereas they went from like the what is it, like, I don't know, from the, you know,
chorus.
Yeah, some kind of way they put it. And I was like, see, he's still more prepared. Babyface was just so cool and chill. Just, I was like, what the hell he be doing in that house all day? That's what I now want to know. Like, I want to go into the life of Babyface and see what he be doing. Because he was so relaxed, but then at the same time, he kind of reminded me of this episode of Atlanta with I think the guy name was like Teddy something, but it was like a parody type of play on Michael Jackson. But Babyface in that jacket reminded me of the guy in the house when Darius goes in and, you know, he's talking to him and it's like really weird and the guy just so lax. So that's kind of how Babyface was. So yeah.
It was, somebody put that Babyface has a pet. He's shady. He was shady. Like, it was like, did you no, Teddy Riley said, oh, we were going there. He said, no, we went there. And then on one part he said, oh, I didn't know we were going to do remixes. And he was like, oh, well, you know, he was like, oh, well, I don't do remixes anyway. Oh my God, really, Babyface? I mean, there's this post that's on my page, and it's like the guy really summed up the night, you know, and that was one of the things. Hey, Veronica, I hope you're feeling
better. Yeah, because I did actually say a prayer for you too, Veronica. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about it, but I did.
I did too. But it was so funny. I mean, it was funny watching them two figure out social media. Saturday night, Teddy was doing too much. That was the problem.
Girl, that's beyond too much. You only looking into.
Oh, she froze, y'all. I'm fixing my shirt. Let me go out and come back in.
Anya, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Blame it on Cox, because That's who it is. But
It's all right. Hey, Suzanne, I see you there. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was entertaining. That guy who every time Teddy on Saturday night, it was hilarious. Every time Teddy went to play a beat, the guy got up and was dancing. And when he finished, he was like this on his phone. Like on cue. When the music starts.
and so he finished, but what is he doing with his phone?
I don't know what the guy was doing. When Teddy finished the song, the guy sat down and was on his phone.
Oh, so it was like, okay, so it was on cue happiness, you're saying. Like, okay.
And everybody was like, who the background dancer? Like he came with the background dancer.
I saw him in the memes, I guess. I don't know why, but yeah.
I mean, even that night, Babyface was like, he said, "Face, you there alone?" He was like, "Yeah, social distancing."
I watched the replay, and then like on the replay, I watched it on YouTube. Someone had screen recorded it, so then I could see their comments, and then like as they're typing them, and then it was like all right, I'm gonna head out, after so long or whatever. But there was one thing I did want to mention that dang, I think it was something about Babyface. Oh, I had saw this meme where there was like, Babyface, the type of person that's like, Jesus had came to his wedding or something and made wine or something. He was like, and then he played this song. Let me tell you what song he played. Like
he did. He
was like
it was so funny. He was like, yeah, Madonna was in that movie. He was like, yeah, Madonna was in that video, wasn't she? Yeah. But Madonna and MJ didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But I tell you what they agreed on. Let me tell you.
He was made for that. He was made for that little intro part, the backstory. Yeah, he had that. Teddy seemed kind of lost, but I liked it. But he was still he was too amped. And then they did a little video of like every time Babyface play a song that Teddy would keep on, he just kept, and then it's like he got to get up and go. I was like, black people got time to notice everything.
Somebody in the comments said Teddy got a whole lot of errands he running. I was like, oh my God. It's like Teddy got a whole lot of errands he running. I said, oh my goodness, because he kept going out. There was like, he was kind of antsy. But when he played End of the Road, Teddy was like, I'm about to destroy all this stuff. And but we can talk about that all day. That is hilarious. That was hilarious to me. Did y'all enjoy it? Did y'all see it? What were y'all thoughts? Like, tell us. Y'all give us some comments. On to our next topic, which is outside opening up. I think.
Yes. Actually, let me tell you, because I do have Chenese in the waiting room. Would you like to bring her in and maybe she can give her thoughts on this part of the discussion as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Chenese, you got the countdown. Okay.
Hey, beautiful.
Oh gosh, Chenese, can you hear Arnya?
Hey, yes, I was trying to share on my Facebook.
Oh, okay. We've been having some different and I'm like,
I've been like, yeah, we haven't mastered that part yet on share it while we talk.
So Arnya was do you want to do the intro? We could go ahead and introduce you, and then we were about to go into our second news topic before we go into our discussion. So can you just, take a quick second and tell our audience who you are?
Okay, well, hello, my name is Chenese Lewis. I am originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career in entertainment. So my background is very diverse, from acting, plus size modeling, hosting. I had a major event in Los Angeles for 6 years, but to wrap it all with a bow, it's more about body positivity and women's empowerment is what I'm all about.
Okay.
Yay. Okay, so Shanice, we were talking about outside opening up. What's your
Hmm.
thought?
I think it's too soon. Well, you might not know this, but in 2014, I was on life support. So I've actually been on a ventilator where I couldn't breathe and was about to die. So I'm not trying to be on a ventilator again. I know the feeling when your lungs are about to shut down on you. So I don't care if they open up or not. I'm staying in the house. I didn't survive once. I don't know if I can survive life support twice, so I'm good.
Listen, I keep saying just because outside open up don't mean you gotta go outside.
That's right.
And in my part time, I wear my mask and I have my gloves, and I'm very cautious of the things that I'm doing, and I'm taking in consideration different things. When I ain't at work, I'm here at the house. I'm
Right.
I'm not doing all that. Outside can open up all day. Again, everybody's like, well, it shouldn't this, that, and the other. You don't have to go. You don't gotta go do that. Like if that's not your judge. But if those people
Right.
want to go out there and do whatever, bye.
And also, African Americans are more at risk, looks like, or maybe there's more at risk for being essential workers. I don't know. It depends on, you know, either way. But, I'm just staying inside and trying to encourage all my family and friends to stay inside.
Right. Hi, Vincent. Hi, Tamika. My friend right there, Karana Williams. She actually had COVID-19.
Oh
My
wow.
friend
Oh,
Tamika. She actually remember I told you my friend before Fancy had it. She.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad she's feeling better. I'm glad you're feeling better, Karina. And I was gonna say, well, for one, I was curious, Shanice. So, are you in Los Angeles now?
no, I moved back home in 2014, the same year I got sick. Before I got sick, I moved home because my dad was sick. And so I had to come back home to help take care of my father.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of dropped everything I had going on in Los Angeles, all my opportunities, my star on the rise. But I had to come home because family comes first. And I'm the only child. So it's like I didn't have anybody else to put it on.
I understand. I mean, but I was just curious because when you were saying that, because I mean, of course, I am in Baton Rouge as well, and
Okay.
as I've been like, just as far as the whole outside thing, one thing that I've been looking at, I saw this tweet, and it was like this thread, and they basically broke down all the people that are a part of Trump's panel, like as far as the reopening of America. All of these people are business people, and then they're also not the most intelligent people. They have some weird thoughts, and beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the person that she broke down basically why these people are not the people that we should not be, that we should be listening to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end of his thread, he was like, but I'm not worried, and most of us aren't worried because most states aren't going to do it. The only people that should be really worried is the southern states, because we tend to just go along with whatever is said. Whatever Trump says, then we seem to do it because most of us are red states.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like my concern as far as things. But like when you said that people don't necessarily they don't have to go, my whole thing is, well, if their jobs are requiring it, then they're still going to have to possibly go with that. And that kind of goes along with what Shanice said about the essential workers, like, because within the Black community, a lot of people do have those jobs, and so that does kind of make sense as well. But I do believe it's too soon. And we even did a poll on Swagger, and it was like I think it was about like 80-20% or whatever. And the people that actually said yes, just being honest, I went through and I looked at them. So most of them were like Caucasian, but I actually saw like some Black people that were in finance. So I was like, I think they're looking at it from an economical standpoint. But I'm not ready for it. I mean, like if it were somebody else, I'm just glad that I'm able to do what I love from my house, and most of the things that I need to do, I can do within my house. When I go out, it's like my anxiety is super bad. I don't know. I just don't feel right. Like the whole time I'm just so like, okay, let me get here and get this done so I can get back in. I'm not comfortable with it. And that's me personally.
I mean, like even being an essential worker, I don't, I say a prayer, I go in. I have the option to stay home if that's what I felt like. But I've been taking the necessary precautions, and I keep myself, I keep my stuff near me. So, and then some people have to go because if the hospital is not open, then People really gonna be bad off. But transitioning, so that was a good conversation. You guys continue giving us your thoughts on the outside opening up. I see another Shanice, said that it's too early to open back up.
Yeah.
Fancy, you want to say the sponsor?
Yes. So tonight's sponsor is Life Coach Debrat is Sally, also known as D. D Life, well, she also goes by D Life Mentor Coach. She is an inspirational speaker and life coach. Her latest book is Graceful Seasons, which is an anthology of testimonies, triumph, victory, and God's faithfulness. You can find her at DDE Life LIFE Mentor mentor.com, and then on Instagram you can also find her at DDEE LIFE MNTR Coach. So that's D Life Mentor Coach, basically.
Okay, so back to our guest, Chenese Lewis. I was first introduced to Chenese, and you guys will remember this, Hell Date. How many people remember Hell Date? Chenese was on Hell Date. Was that BET or MTV, Chenese?
It was on BET, and that was 2007.
Wow.
And I thought she was just hilarious. Just the way she used to, those guys used to be running. It was just hilarious. I loved Hell Date. I was a big fan. So I want to say I've been following you since then. Then being in the plus size pageant system, Texas Plus America, Miss Plus America, Chenese was the very first queen of that pageant.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we had a connection there, and when I met her, I was like, "Oh my God!" She was at another Lady Christian's event, and ever since then, every time I see her, I have to hug her. She makes sure I see her. I make sure. Chenese is the sweetest person. She's very humble, and I love it because she has a right to kind of be. She does hosting. She does a lot. So as she told you guys, she's a host. She's done TV. She has her podcast, her show, and it is always great to be around someone that's uplifting other people. Like she said, body positive.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chenese. You say you went to LA to follow your dream. So what exactly was the dream? What was the...
Well, summer of 2000, I heard a commercial on the radio. And since you are from Baton Rouge, Fancy, I could tell you right where I was when I heard the commercial. I was in the parking lot of the Ham and Air Shopping Center, summer of 2000.
So that's where I'm going to get my hair done. Yeah, you got me on that one.
I heard a radio commercial saying there was a casting call coming to town looking specifically for plus size models. Now, prior to hearing that commercial, I didn't know that was a thing. But as soon as I heard it, I was like, I could do that because I was always confident, always. So even my friend that I was close to at the time was like, did you hear this commercial? You need to go. So, everybody was like, this you. So I went to the convention, and I'm not the convention, the casting call, and it was at a hotel, maybe like the Marriott or the Hilton here. And it was a call to go to a convention. So you got accepted, but you had to pay a lot of money to go to this convention where they sell you dreams of being discovered by big city agents. So I actually went. And I'm the only child. My parents support anything I want to do. I'm blessed. So I went to the convention, and I actually won awards and things, but it didn't really do anything for my career. So I got online, and that's where I discovered the pageant. And then I won the national pageant title 2003. And then after I won the pageant title, I was like, let me go full force. And I moved to Los Angeles in 2004. So that's like the condensed version.
Let me ask if you don't mind right quick. So Hell Date, that kind of came after you had already been doing some things then, correct? Because they said that was 2007. So but it kind of tied into that from your experience with this other stuff.
Yes, so when I moved to Los Angeles, I just moved to Los Angeles on faith. I didn't have any connections with anybody. I had like my classmate there to help me find somewhere to live, but I didn't have any entertainment connections. So I really went to Los Angeles on faith and had to build my brand from scratch. So I just hit the pavement, submitted myself because I didn't even have an agent, and I booked Hell Date for myself in 2007. So I was just grinding. I was young in my 20s, and my parents was like, you could go there, but you got a limited time. And so I was just trying to hit it while I was hot.
Right. That is, oh my goodness, that's a blessing. And then I understand being the only child. It's like your parents tell you the sky is the limit. It's past the sky. You keep going. So I totally love that. And I love that they encourage you. And your friends too. That's how my friends are. Like, go do it, girl. If that's what you feel like you want to do, you do it. So after the pageant and everything, what made you say, okay, I need to do body positive? Because you say body positive, not just plus size.
Because well, my thing is, I am plus size, so I always like to empower plus size women just by being a positive role model and example. But my vision was always bigger than that because I had an event in Los Angeles called Love Your Body Day, and Love Your Body Day celebrated women of all shapes and sizes. I also, in addition to being body positivity, when I was doing my event, I was involved as a spokesperson for an eating disorder organization. And so I never had an eating disorder, but it all tied into everything about your self-esteem and your confidence. Because, some women, when you tell them that they need to be healthy and they need to lose weight to do this and that, some people do very unhealthy things to try and achieve that thing. So, when you talk about health, you have to understand that everybody is not on the same page about what is a healthy approach to being healthy. People do very things outlandish, like I was in LA, so plastic surgery, so always celebrating our unobtainable standard of beauty is what I was against, and just trying to expand the definition of what is beautiful.
Go ahead. It sounds like you was about to say.
But Shanice is about to say something.
No, you wait.
Oh, look, because I was still just kind of thinking as I'm listening. So there is, because this is new to me. There's a difference then between the plus size and body positive. Like, I don't know. I guess I kind of just saw it all as one before. So it seems like you two are kind of like, distinguishing it. There's two different things. Am I?
Well, yeah, kind of has its similarities. They kind of overlap in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say body positivity is someone who is disabled. Body positivity is someone who has a skin disorder.
Okay.
You say body positivity is skin color because they don't celebrate people with dark skin. I would even put natural hair under body positivity. Body positivity to me is just not being white, blonde hair and blue eye is the only acceptable form of beauty.
Wow. Okay. See, y'all just explained something to me. I would have never I just kind of saw it as all the same category. And now that you're saying that, it makes so much more sense, especially as I'm learning more about like people with disabilities and just, them being represented in different settings and so on. I'm seeing more of that. I guess now because I have more people within my network that are disabled. So that's just like really shocking to me because I never would have thought about it before.
Yeah, because some people will say maybe diversity or inclusion,
Mm-hmm.
but that plus size is added into that because the average woman in America is now a size 16. So that is, if you are doing a campaign that is trying to reach everyone, you need to have all sizes, all colors, all hair textures,
Mm-hmm.
all heights. If you can afford it, you need to have as much diversity as possible. So that's what body positive means to me.
Okay.
I love the body positivity platform because, as you said, it incorporates everyone. are there people who, I mean, because people find a problem with everything. Hey, Sharona, people find a problem with everything. Have you come across people that was like, why I gotta be body positivity? Why I gotta be this? Why I gotta be that? And how did you handle it if you did?
Well, I have had some negative comments before. Anybody that's plus size and in the spotlight is going to get negative comments, period. It doesn't matter. Now, I don't get it as much as the other people because I don't really post very suggestive pictures, with lingerie and showing everything. But, the number one critique people will say is you're promoting obesity, which is not true because you can work out like the three of us can have the same diet, go work out together. We still not all gonna come out the same size and in the same shape.
Right.
Some people just genetically will not be a size two. It's just not, they just not built like that.
I don't want to be no two. I love these curves, baby. Sorry.
But
So, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, so the number one thing when people say you're promoting obesity, but I don't think so. It's more about promoting self-esteem. It's more about promoting confidence, promoting that you are worthy just as you are. And that's at any size, because sometimes you fluctuate. You might be at a bigger size, or like maybe you just had a baby or something. You're still worthy and you're still beautiful no matter what size you are.
So are there I mean, just because I definitely see how the plus size community has been growing, and just, the different, I see the difference in the campaign ads and so on. And I mean, there's still so much further it seems like, that there is to go. But do you are you now finding there to be, more opportunities, and how does that look for you?
Absolutely. There are definitely more opportunities as people in the marketing space are seeing that is profitable to be more diverse. I mean, I don't think they're necessarily trying to build women's self-esteem, but if you're trying to make money, then you need to include everybody because everybody's money spends.
Come on now.
So, if you want to sell clothes, you will make more money selling more sizes than just shedding out half of America. So it just makes business sense now to be inclusive.
Right.
So, Miss Chenese has the Chenese Lewis Show. So, tell us about your podcast, number one plus size podcast. Hey, tell us about your podcast and what things can they learn from in your podcast? I actually listened to it, so.
Well, thank you for that. So I started my podcast in 2008 when I was living in Los Angeles. And the reason I started my podcast is because I was taking hosting classes. So I, host live events and I host on my podcast, but I actually was trained because initially I was trying to do red carpet hosting like at the Oscars or the Grammys or whatever. So my teacher, who was actually my Dallas from MTV, if you remember from the 90s. She was my hosting teacher, and she told me I needed to do a podcast just to practice my interview skills. So actually, I started the podcast just so I could be an excellent interviewer. And so I started in 2008, so it's been about 12 years now. So my podcast focuses on the plus community, but more so national brands. Like one of my latest people I interviewed was the CEO of City Chic, and he has brands all across the globe, not just in America, but Australia, South Africa. So I don't necessarily interview the up and coming. I interview the established major brands like Ashley Stewart, Elaine Bryant. And, it's been very successful as far as establishing me as an expert in the industry.
I'm just like, wow, that's 12 years. We've only been doing this, 7 months or so. You've been ahead of the game. So, but did you initially kind of start out with the aspiring people? Just think, because I know, of course, at that level, you got to start reaching further. But did you initially kind of start out with aspiring individuals?
Yeah, so when I started my podcast in 2008, the concept was still the same because I had already been in the industry since I learned what it was in 2000. So I
Mhm.
was already in the industry. I already had, the pageant title. I already had moved to Los Angeles and had some accolades. So I was still able to get major people on my podcast at the beginning. So it's the same content. I've just, grown better over time. And also, I've been able to get national press. Like I've been quoted in the Chicago Tribune. I've been featured in the podcast Business Journal. So, it's just a nice platform because a lot of people do things in the plus size industry, but they aren't able to get mainstream media. That's why media outlets such as yours are important because there's a lot of people that do things, but they won't get in the local newspaper on the local news because some people won't find it newsworthy. So it's just good to have a platform that is respected to shine a light on what people are doing that's positive.
Right.
Thank you for that. And that's why I said in the beginning, you have every reason to kind of be snooty or what have you. I remember at the last pageant, like I don't even think I seen you was like, "Hey girl, I might go to the bathroom, I'll be right back," and you like left, and then when you came back, you gave me a hug, and I appreciate that, because that's this is Shanice. I was like, "That's Shanice, that's Shanice." I'm a groupie, don't mind me, but I just love your spirit, and of course, I'm always following you, and different things and things that you say and how authentic you are and transparent. Because even with the Baton Rouge floods, you were transparent in different things, and even with your background now. I know that you've hosted Bonner Brothers and different things, and it's just like we have someone, and I know for another plus size woman as myself, I look up to you. Shanice is doing it. Why can't I? Why I can't let this weight, hold me back or what people might say or think. But do you get that whenever you're out hosting or something, someone say something negatively? I know I kind of asked this question, or maybe
Mhm.
it's the same question or what have you.
Mhm. Well, when I'm out in public, no, I do not get any negative things. Or if I'm host, because I host a lot of mainstream events like the Natural Hair Expo during the Essence Festival. But you got to remember what I said: the average size woman is a size 16. So it's like I'm plus size, but I'm still on the socially acceptable side of plus size. So I'm always dressed down. I'm always looking fly. So I don't get any negative comments in person.
I was gonna ask. I'm sorry, Anya. Did you have another question?
Go ahead.
I thought I had saw something. I was trying to think of the name of it as we've been sitting here, but there was a new media, a new media outlet, kind of here in Baton Rouge. You're a part of that, aren't you? It's the name is I cannot think of the name. But do you know what I'm talking about? Like it came out a few months ago, maybe in October, November. They had but they're actually going to be doing things like city, excuse me, city chapters or state chapters. I thought I saw your name on that.
I mean, I'm in 100 Black Women, if that's what you're talking about. But
It,
that's
it, it wasn't 100 Black women, kind of similar, but more media related. But I don't know. I thought I saw your name with that because I thought that you were one of the officers that they were. I didn't go back and look at that because in my head I was like, she okay, girl, okay, my bad.
but let me know what it is, though.
Like, who got my name? Who using my name? So we touched on so many things. We touched on body positive and just walking out on faith. Doing things family over business. You want to speak to that? I don't think we really just went on there. How difficult was that move to say, you know what, my father's sick, I'm leaving, and this
Oh, it wasn't difficult at all. I didn't even have to think about it because, if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have been able to relocate to live in Los Angeles. And when you live in Los Angeles, it's so expensive to live there and you're trying to find gigs, you have to have some kind of family support. So I actually lived in Los Angeles for 10 years. I was able to build my brand from scratch so that after I moved to Baton Rouge, people were still interested in using me and, flying me back out. So, I didn't think about it twice. I feel like what's for me is for me. And like you said, I've been able to do some major stuff whilst living in Baton Rouge. And so, everything happens for a reason.
I like the fact that you said that about you need the family support living in LA. And I know, like, for me, hell, I'm sorry, but you needed the family support also, like, even like in Atlanta. But I think oftentimes people don't get that. People always see the glitz and so on, and they don't see how hard it is to really transition and build yourself up when you go to a different place like that. Especially, like, I mean, so you're from the South. Did you find it hard to transition in LA?
I didn't find it hard to transition like I think I would if I moved to New York, because New York is way faster. But I think Los Angeles was an easier transition. The people were kind of different.
Mhm.
But I had my car there. I had a nice place there, so I was able. I'm an extrovert, so I was able to make friends there. So I didn't have a hard time. I didn't struggle at all.
That's good.
Okay.
That's
Well, you was about to say something, Vance?
no, I was saying that's a blessing,
Oh.
that you didn't, you were still comfortable throughout.
So, as we wrap up, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast today. We really appreciate it. So, what are some lasting things that you would like to share with our audience? And also, what things do you have going on and coming up that we can support you in?
So as I mentioned, I discovered the industry in 2000, and that's where I, jumped. So 2020, I'm celebrating my 20th anniversary in the plus size industry. So I had a lot of things planned this year, like appearances and things that were going to be announced, but due to coronavirus, everything is halted. But, I've still been able to do a lot of press, a lot of interviews. So that's a blessing that, I still could be celebrated in that way. And so what I've been doing too is keeping my podcast going. So usually it's every week. Sometimes it doesn't happen. As you guys know, having a podcast, sometimes it just don't work out that week. But a weekly podcast. And my advice to people that, are trying to follow in my footsteps is just to one thing I did when I moved to Los Angeles, which I think was critical for me, is having standards. Like, even though I went there and I didn't have connections and I didn't know nobody, I still just didn't do anything because my parents and family had instilled morals and values for me. And all opportunities are not good opportunities. So you have to have a standard for your brand. You can't work with everybody. You cannot collaborate with everybody. You cannot support everybody if it's not in alignment with your brand. And I have been firm on that, where people would get mad at me. People would not want to be my friend. People thought I was stuck up. But I do believe in having a strong brand that's not associated with a lot of foolishness or a lot of negativity. So that is something that I would, strongly suggest to not only you guys, but to your audience.
Definitely. I think Fancy and I both feel the same way. We ain't gotta be everybody free. I'm not associating with garbage. That's just
Not garbage, huh?
garbage. And I'm just put it out there. That's just what it is. Fancy, did you have something?
No, I agree. I actually realized, so I had misspelled her Instagram for her show incorrectly, and I was trying to get it together. I wanted that to be right, but y'all, I think I might have made more of a mess than helped. But I mean, so they can see the CheneseLewis.com, and then they can also see the Chenese Lewis. But I was trying to get that show part right. But no, I had nothing to add, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm working.
Her website is www.CheneseLewis, CheneseLewis.com for those who are joining us just audio. And you can catch her on Instagram at Chenese Lewis. Is it Chenese Lewis Show or just Chenese Lewis?
Chenese Lewis is my main website. If you want to know about what I'm hosting and my latest news, Chenese Lewis Show is the podcast website.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you
okay.
guys,
That's what I was trying to get up, the Chenese Lewis Show, but I actually had like something kind of out.
But if
But
you go to Chenese Lewis, it links to everything. So it's
yeah, I'm
Shanice.
saying go to Chenese Lewis, you will see it there because that's how I had first saw it. So
you guys make sure you support her. She is such a doll, a diamond. I'm telling y'all, I just love watching positive people. And she is definitely one of those. So thank you so much, Shanice, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. And look, this is the first time I've got dolled up since the quarantine, just for you ladies, because I've been looking raggedy.
I think everybody kind of been that way. Look, I feel the storm.
So this is just for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Bye, girl.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. That was excellent. I enjoyed it. Did you guys enjoy it? Fancy learned something new.
Yeah, I really did.
Positivity.
And I'm glad to know that too, you know, because especially you, just where I'm not gonna say we're in such a, it's not even being politically correct, I guess, but just it's good to know, you know, those little things because you never know, you might end up stepping on someone's toes or offending in some way or thinking, you know. So I'm glad that was really enlightening for me because I never would have just like saw that way. Right. So also our second sponsor for the evening is Box Office 7 Studios. Box Office 7 is a production company for your film and videography needs, located within the southern region. So if you are in Mississippi, Louisiana, you know, the southern states, if you're trying to film a video or a film, then definitely check them out. You can visit them on Box Office 7 Studios on Instagram, and we are currently helping them with their website. So once that's ready, you all can visit that as well. And then I also like to take a minute, I didn't list them on the sheet, but I like to thank Fab Wraps for my head wrap tonight. And then she actually sent me two. And she has a variety of different colors and patterns. Most of them are, I'm sorry, I just forgot the word I wanted to use. What do you call this? It's not the kente cloth, but just, you know, yeah, along the lines of Afrocentric. And the scarf itself, I mean, I'm not about to take it off and show y'all my hair, but it is like, you know, thick and of quality. And actually, she even sent me some earrings to go along with it. I had forgot that the earrings were there, so I had already chosen my earrings for the evening. But just to show them to you all, so it's like a little set. So you can purchase the sets, or you can just purchase the head wraps, and you all can find her on Instagram at Fab Wraps. And then also her actual website is fabwraps.co. So not .com, but .co. So I'll also be sharing some more information about them as well. So, you know, I just want to make sure I got that out because I do tend to forget stuff. So.
Now, I like that wrap. It looks really nice on you, those colors. Always remember, we do have our nice Never Thirsty tumblers that I've been drinking my water out of all day. I've been trying to make sure I get my water in since I've been at home. You can also personalize it.
And it's easier. I'm sorry, it's easier to drink water out of the tumbler, I realize. Like, I think it's something kind of I don't know. It kind of like helps. You don't really think about how many bottles, and then you know how much water we're actually supposed to drink a day. And I think it's a lot easier for me personally just to drink it out of my tumbler and just like, you know, to consistently drink. So I don't know. To me, it's kind of like a trick to actually get enough water in your body, actually drinking out of the tumbler. That's just me thinking. I'm not just saying it so y'all buy them, but it was just something I noticed because actually at first I was only drinking out of my tumbler like during the show. And then when I started drinking out of it, you know, regularly, I was like, dang, you know what? I'm increasing my water intake now. So yeah. Bye, Sharon.
We both said at the same time. Well, I have nothing else. Do you, Fancy?
No, we'll just see y'all next week.
We see y'all next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.
Bye.